Welcome to Smart Remarks, where round one goes to the challenger. So we're filming this the day after the first presidential debate, which happened in Denver last night. I gotta say, Mitt Romney crushed Obama. I thought Romney was on. I thought he made a very good case for himself and his policies. I thought Obama was terrible. I thought he was flat. I thought he looked tired. You know, given what's going on between Syria and Turkey, I mean, maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe I've seen it speculated he was just sort of trying to play defense and just sort of wanted to, not, respond for whatever reason to Romney's attacks. But I thought Romney's attacks were fairly effective. And I thought, if I didn't know anything about this campaign or I didn't know anything about Romney, I would have come away from last night's debate thinking, well, he seems like a pretty viable candidate. Maybe I'll vote for him. But see, the thing is, I do know a little bit about this campaign. I do know a little bit about Mitt Romney. And as such, I was sort of astounded, number one, by some of the things that came out of his mouth, but number two, the fact that Obama didn't go after some of those things. I want to get briefly into two of them here today. The biggest whopper told by Romney last night, repeatedly, and you will hear this undoubtedly going forward, is that his tax plan does not lower taxes on the wealthiest Americans. Come on, Obama, it's not like I'm going to do that. Well, yes, that's exactly what Romney's tax plan is going to do. If you go to Mitt Romney's website, you will see that he's advocating a 20% tax cut across the board. That would include the wealthiest Americans. And in fact, right now they're paying a top marginal tax rate of 35%. Romney's plan would knock it down to 28%. But see, Romney's great dodge here is that he's going to make up that lost revenue by closing loopholes for the wealthy. But of course, he and Paul Ryan have both declined to specify which loopholes they're going to close. Obama could have and should have hammered him on this last night. Didn't really. We're going to do it right now. Mr. Romney, what loopholes are you going to close? Again, he hasn't said, but virtually every analysis I've seen says he's probably going to go after deductions like the mortgage interest deduction, the charitable giving deduction. And here's a clue. That'll hammer the middle class if he does that. I know plenty of middle class people who take those deductions who would see perhaps a 20% reduction in their tax rate, but would also see the loss of tax breaks they depend on. And it's also possible that eliminating the charitable deduction break might result in fewer contributions to charities. Eliminating the home mortgage deduction could impact the housing market. Romney needs to be way more specific before he can get away with claiming that he's not going to raise taxes on the middle class and he's not going to give the wealthy a tax cut, because from where I sit, that's exactly what he's doing. The second thing that struck me last night was the fact that if you didn't know anything about this race, you'd come away from this debate thinking that it's Mitt Romney and the Republicans who are going to defend entitlements. But see, here's where you have to pay very close attention to the language used. If you listen to Romney or Ryan talk about Social Security and Medicare, they will say that they are not going to cut benefits for current retirees. You will hear this word current recipients, current retirees frequently, and that's because they will cut benefits for subsequent retirees. I'm 45 years old, and whatever arbitrary point Romney and Ryan would pick, basically what they're saying is the people who are retired or near retirement now need not worry. People like me, people younger than me, you might have to worry a whole lot, because they indeed do want to turn Medicare into a voucher program. They deny this, but they want to give vouchers to people to buy their own health insurance, trusting that the magic of the market is going to keep prices low. But of course, there's no guarantee of this, and speculation is that costs will rise for people like me. This sets up a little bit of generational warfare, doesn't it? Why should I and subsequent generations work hard to keep current or near retirees in a clover that I will never know? Republicans are big on advocating tax fairness. How is that fair? If indeed entitlements are an issue, shouldn't all Americans have to sacrifice? Shouldn't current retirees have to have some skin in the game, to use a term that is so favored by Republicans? You'll hear more of this in the debates to come. There's two more. I thought Romney did a fantastic sales job last night, but as is occasionally the case, maybe what he's selling is not actually what you're buying. If you think, if you voted for Obama in the past and you think you got a bit of a clunker, Mitt Romney might not even make it off the lot.